It feels like the only thing people want to talk about with Endgame is the main characters. It's always Thanos this, Tony that. We're guilty of it. You'd have to do a little searching to find Hawkeye mentioned in any of our theories, but we promise we do. Still, even he's a poster hero. All of these superpowered egos are important. We're not saying they're integral to the story. That theory wouldn't make it very far, trust us. However, we do believe aspects of Endgame are being overlooked. We want to talk about all of the characters who didn't make the big promotional poster. These minor characters who work with little screen time yet find ways to advance the plot. We're talking about characters like Wong, Ned, and the Collector in Infinity War. This is a theory dedicated to all the other characters who will or might appear in Endgame, so let's get to it. To start things off, we want to give a level of transparency to this video. We want to give credit where credit is due. This theory comes to us from Reddit. A user named BrandFan87 posted this theory onto the Marvel Studios subreddit a little while ago. Honestly, we love when we get to talk about excellent fan theories. It shows the dedication to the fan base that surrounds Marvel. No one is ever alone in their fan belief, and we want to give this one a platform because it's excellent. Seriously, the user went out of their way to provide a list of confirmed and rumored appearances by other characters in Endgame. That's just the tip of the iceberg, because then they went a step further and gave the perspective of what the cameo might entail. Fandom is a crazy thing. Getting a chance to show where that kind of creative craze can do good is an opportunity we can't pass up. Heck, this person went through so much work, the least we can do is make a video about it. This post is an opportunity to showcase what devotion to the minor characters and their involvement can bring to the Endgame story. After all, knowing the cast is half the battle. It can reveal parts of the plot just by confirming some names. Yeah, it's crazy how that works out, right? So by now you must be thinking, geez, every other character that might appear in Endgame, that sounds like a lot of ground to cover. Well, fake viewer we made up just for this part, you're right. This video will be covering a lot of names in a short period of time. Expect the pace to resemble a Ramones song. It's a fast tempo with a lot of words, but it's also over before you know it. There's nothing against the Ramones, they just wrote a lot of short songs. Okay, well, we can't waste time telling you about one of the greatest punk bands ever to take the stage, so let's get back on track. What we want to do in this video is logically go through BrandFran87's list in a way that makes it digestible for you, the viewer. We're going to start with the confirmed appearances, and what's more, we'll start with the ones that we know fit in the story. This way we can give you the information that feels the most concrete first. As we continue through this video, the appearances will move from confirmed to rumored. As we get into rumored appearances, we want to cover the strongest possibilities first, then move on to the shots in the dark. Why are we doing it this way? Well, simply put, we want to create a full encompassing view of the theory. There are a lot of names on the list, but grouping them like this makes it more manageable. We also know that you all prefer the concrete evidence before we get into conjectures. This setup accomplishes just that. So with everything in place, no more delays. Alright, time to get into the confirmed characters that we know where they will fit into the story. The first is the granddaddy of them all, Howard Stark. It feels super plausible that he appears in some kind of Tesseract flashback or in a time travel scene involving Tony Stark that propels his character further forward. Howard Stark is a character we're more familiar with, and his minor arc is building to one of those two conclusions. Another character we are more than confident in is the addition of CROSSBONES in this film. He is confirmed to make an appearance, so obviously it needs to be a flashback recalling his time at S.H.I.E.L.D. undercover, or his turn into a villain. The choices for an appearance are limited. HARLEY KEINER is also confirmed, and we believe it's more than likely it will relate to Iron Man's suit and its construction. We can also confirm through private sources that Ned will make an appearance in Endgame, and he and Peter have a scene back at their high school. The exact details past that aren't exactly clear though. We at least have something new to add to this theory. Finally, Okoye is another obvious confirmed minor character we will see in this film. We've seen her in promotional material, so there is no mystery to her involvement. To the next group, let's talk about confirmed characters that we're still trying to place in the story. These are people we know will show up, but we don't know in what manner. The biggest mystery, to us, is the Ancient One. Tilda Swinton is confirmed to show up in her old role. However, we're still working the story to understand how exactly that's gonna fly. The problem is, we haven't seen Doctor Strange in any of the promotional material. His storyline is still up in the air. Our Redditor theorist presumes it's part of time travel, and the team will work their way to Kamar-Taj and her domain. The team, we're not sure who it would include, will ask the Time Stone from her. Other possibilities include interactions between her and Strange in an alternate dimension, or her spiritual body guiding him as he attempts to find a way to unsnap the universe. 2 other confirmed characters are tied into Thor's universes, and we know what set they showed up on. Still, that doesn't mean we know what they're going to do in the film. Both Valkyrie and Frigga were seen on the Durham Cathedral set, and the actresses confirmed their involvement through social media posts or interviews. We believe it will relate to Thor building some kind of Asgardian army. We have no way of knowing this for sure. The other possibility is that the God of Thunder meets them in Valhalla through some sort of vision. Finally, one last confirmed character. To be honest, we know where Wong is. He's at the New York Sanctuary. We just hope there is a bit more to his involvement this time. It doesn't need to be big, just connect him to the Ancient One flashback or get him involved in the fight. Both he and Okoye deserve that. Please do this for us, Marvel. Whew, everyone still okay? Alright, take a snack break if you need to, because we're officially halfway through the groups. However, the back half is a lot tougher. It's time to get into the rumored appearances. As before, we want to start with the ones we're confident in. The list gets long here, so we're going to break down the groups even further. It's groupception. Everyone just do your best to follow along. Hopefully this way makes it easier for you. The first group of rumored characters we're most confident will show up are the people left in Wakanda. This list includes Nakia, Ramonda, W'Kabi, and M'Baku. This state can't be left without a ruler. Someone will need to take charge in the face of this power vacuum. Not every character could show up, but we'd put our money on at least a couple of them making an appearance. The story needs to show us some kind of fallout for Wakanda. It's one of the most special locations in the MCU. It can't be ignored. Our next group is back to Thor and the Asgardian influence on the film. Many believe he will work towards finding some kind of mythological army to use against Thanos' forces. We know we're getting Frigga, so it's not too hard to believe that Odin will also make an appearance with her. Not to mention the army might be the undead, which would bring Hela back into the fold. Ragnarok director Taika Waititi already told fans that Hela is capable of changing and not being so evil all the time. Finally, the last group we feel confident viewers will get to see is from the galactic side of Marvel. We expect certain characters from the Nova Corps and Kraglin to possibly rescue Stark and Nebula, or join the fight against Thanos. For fans of Captain Marvel, it's possible that Goose will make an appearance, either as a way to get the Tesseract or as a weapon to be used in the upcoming confrontation. That's all the characters we know. Let's quickly move into the out there rumors we're willing to hear about, but not that confident in. The first is the wealth of scientists on Earth that might contribute to the quantum tunnel rebuild. If the Ant-Man style theories are to be believed, then someone smart needs to build that machine to get him out. This idea means we might get an appearance from Jane Foster, Erik Selvig, Bill Foster, or even Helen Cho. Warning though, if it's going to be Jane or Erik, then Darcy might make an appearance too. Tread carefully, my friends, very carefully. Another cluster of characters relates to the potential time travel theories that are out there. If the Avengers want to collect the stones before Thanos, then they need to make some deals. Both the Collector and Red Skull are possible cameos. Also, the Red Skull is free from his curse now that the Soul Stone is obtained. We finally have Captain America's biggest villain open to pursue the gems on his own if he wants. There are a number of possibilities we see for these 2 survivors of Thanos. Real quick is the 3 long shots. 2 of them are past love interests that possibly earned their moment of closure. Betty Ross and Peggy Carter were 2 characters that were lost due to the rapid development of the story, so maybe this is the chance for redemption. Finally, some fans hope going to the past gives us a chance to see Quicksilver show up again, since Aaron Taylor Johnson was seen around Atlanta during shooting in 2017. Hey, we're not saying it's gonna happen, but that would be awesome. Look, this is just a brief summary. Again, we owe it to all the fans who bring the punch to these theories. This content is not easy to sift through and then condense down for your peers to judge. That being said, we still have questions. We want to see how exactly the Barton family will be used now that we know they're involved. If Peggy Carter and other lost loves are included, what about recent love interests like Sharon Carter? Also, what about everyone's favorite new characters, Korg and Meek? We're not 100% sure what happened to them. Help us sort everything out by leaving a comment down below. Be sure to follow behind the screen to keep up with the times. All you have to do is hit that link down below to be automatically subscribed.